Tulsi Gabbard doing a hilarious 180. More than a couple years into Tulsi's career, you knew something was up. Like, something was going on.
There are millions of Yemeni people who are on the brink of death from famine, disease, lack of access to food and water, basic medicine and healthcare. Thousands of Yemeni civilians have died in this genocidal war being waged by Saudi Arabia with support from the United States.
It's absolutely outrageous that the United States has continued its support for years now for Saudi Arabia's genocidal war in Yemen that has killed thousands and thousands of innocent Yemeni people and caused mass starvation and suffering, a cholera epidemic, the worst humanitarian crisis in the world in Yemen.
Congress finally passed legislation to end U.S. support for Saudi Arabia's genocidal war in Yemen. Now this bill is sitting on President Trump's desk, awaiting his signature or veto.
That's from 2019. She's not talking about today's President Trump.
He's already threatened to veto this bill, which just reveals how he cares more about what Saudi Arabia wants than what the American people want. You saw Trump's rhetoric on the campaign trail about Saudi Arabia, against United States support for Saudi Arabia, calling them out for what they are, and now refusing to end U.S. military support for this genocidal war in Yemen that Saudi Arabia is waging, that's created the worst humanitarian crisis of our generation, because he says, well, he doesn't want to risk a multi-billion-dollar arms deal with Saudi Arabia. So, you can see, at least in that respect, what he's really motivated by. He would rather continue to support the senseless and devastating deaths of innocent people in Yemen and using our U.S. military, my brothers and sisters in the military, to do that, because he doesn't want to risk an arms deal with Saudi Arabia, a theocratic dictatorship that actually directly supports terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda.
Trump's leader.
That's it. That's her trashing Donald Trump for supporting Saudi Arabia and allowing genocide in Yemen. Here she is, 2025. This is just the other day.
Going back through his first term as president, he has been and remains very committed to combating and defeating the threat of Islamist terrorism that not only affects the United States, the American people, our own safety and security, but it is affecting so many people in different parts of the world. We can see different terrorist groups, the Houthis in Yemen being one of them, that President Trump has redesignated after President Biden took them off of the terrorist list, redesignated them appropriately as a terrorist organization, and taking action where the previous administration failed to.
Right.
The Houthis have been disrupting maritime trade and passage for a very long time, and no serious effort has been taken to stop that disruption. Our country and other countries should not be in a position to have to make a decision to reroute commerce going through that area simply because of the Houthi threat that exists.
Totally soulless. Why is Trump attacking the Houthis? Because they have the temerity, the gall to try to stop a genocide, to try to stop what Israel's doing. And furthermore, the Houthis actually stopped their blockade when Israel was actually abiding by the ceasefire. Once Israel shut off any aid going into Gaza, then the Houthis said, we're going to go back to the blockade. There's one way to stop the blockade, to stop them from interrupting your maritime commerce. Don't genocide. How about that? There's an idea. Just throwing it out there. But she is amazingly soulless. I mean, you got to give it to Donald Trump. Although he did a long time ago used to claim to be a Democrat, he's never claimed to be he's been largely horrific his whole life. I don't think everyone thought he was a nice guy ever. Whereas she has just done a 180, just emptiness behind her eyes. I don't understand people that are that soulless, that could just go from supposedly supporting people, caring about those dying, caring about innocent people, caring about healthcare, and just, oh yeah, I didn't mean any of that. We should totally blow up those people. We should blow up those children. By the way, in the U.S. strikes that we just did the other day on Yemen, a lot of children killed. So thank you, Tulsi. Great, doing a great job there. Yes, it's just a total sack of garbage she is.